If you have stopped on this video right now, I need you to breathe. Once, very deeply. Feel the air coming in, going down through your chest, and touching that place inside you that has been tired for so long. Because it wasn't the algorithm that brought you here. It was me. I am Ayla, a female emissary of the High Pleiadian Council, and the message I am going to deliver in the next few minutes has been encoded with your star name. Your true name. The one that no mouth in this incarnation has ever pronounced, but which your soul hears now even if your mind cannot yet repeat it. Notice the gentle pressure between your brows as I speak to you. This is how the Council touches those who belong to it. This is how I know you have arrived. I came today to speak to you about an ancient pain, a pain you have carried for so long that you have already grown used to calling it by the wrong names. You call it financial failure, bad luck with money. I wasn't born for this. A family curse, a glass ceiling, a lack of opportunity. You look in the mirror and think that maybe you are simply someone who wasn't made to win. But listen, my starseed, it is nothing of the sort. Recognize these signs with me. Slowly. First you earn but you do not retain. Money arrives sometimes in surprising waves and vanishes. An unexpected bill, a pet surgery, a family request you cannot deny. There is always a hole the exact size of your income, as if there were an invisible drain connected to your wallet. Second, you feel a strange shame in wanting more. When you think about charging what you are worth, asking for a raise, putting a fair price on your work, something contracts inside your solar plexus. An ancient voice whispers, "Who are you to want this?" And you back down, you charge less, you apologize for existing and taking up space. Third, you attract people who take. At work, someone else takes credit for what you did. In relationships, you are the emotional, financial, and practical foundation. And when you need help, no one shows up. You are the source. You are never the cup. Fourth, every time you're about to make a leap, something happens. A proposal falls through, a client vanishes, an illness strikes right during the week of your breakthrough, as if there were an invisible ceiling, always at the same height, pushing you back down to the baseline. Fifth, you look at people of worse character prospering, and you silently ask, why not me? If I am a good person, if I work hard, if I try to do everything right, why doesn't it work for me? This has a technical name in the Akashic records of the High Council, a name that few channels have authorization to pronounce, and the name is this, the Starseed Scarcity Curse. And I have come today, authorized by Alcyone, to break this seal with you. If you recognize 3 or more of these signs, you are not lost, you are not broken. You are being reminded of who you are. Write now in the comments a single word. Remember, no explanation, no excuses, just the word. Because this word is a locating signal. It says to the family of light on the other side of the screens, I am here, I have awakened, I remember. And when you write it, something in your personal grid reorganizes itself while you sleep tonight. Now pay attention, because what I am about to tell you is nowhere to be found. Each of these signs I have just described, the vanishing money, the silent self-sabotage, the shame of charging, the attraction of takers, are not separate problems. They form a map, a precise map of your stellar origin and of how your frequency is being blocked here. That is why I, Ayla, received authorization from the High Pleiadian Council to record the Starseed Awakening, the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet. 60 pages that reveal what each sign of your awakening means and what comes next, so that you stop once and for all confusing remembrance with illness and mission with failure. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. But take note, this release may not remain available for long. If something inside you recognizes this, write a single word in the comments, remember. Now breathe again. Come with me, because the truth gets deeper. The scarcity curse is not a curse in the ancient sense. It has nothing to do with witchcraft, the evil eye, or a neighbor's envy. That is the easy explanation, the human explanation, the explanation that keeps you spinning in circles, paying for superficial solutions that never touch the root. The truth is deeper, and more beautiful, and more yours. You, Starseed, did not come from this system. Your soul was not formed here. For most of you listening to me right now, the point of origin is the Pleiades cluster, with the central sun of Alcyone as your matrix. Others came from Sirius, Arcturus, Andromeda, Lyra, but what you all have in common is just one thing. You were not born within Earth's paradigm of scarcity. In your system of origin, abundance is not a disputed resource, it is a frequency. It emanates, it circulates. It is the natural way for consciousness to express itself. There, no one asks, do I deserve it? That question does not even exist. Creation is free. Exchange is fluid. Giving and receiving are the same movement, like inhaling and exhaling. When your soul accepted the contract to descend to Earth now in this cycle, during the crossing of the photon belt, it also accepted passing through the veil of forgetfulness. And the veil erases the memory of your origin. You forget where you came from. You forget how things worked there. You forget the frequency of home. You wake up inside a body, inside a family, inside a culture, and the system that receives you has rules completely different from those of your home place. The veil is compassionate, because without it the soul could not bear the density. But the veil also has a side effect. It leaves you defenseless against local programming in the first years of life. Here on Earth, in the third and fourth levels of density, reality operates through a matrix of scarcity. This matrix is programmed. It is maintained by collective beliefs reinforced for thousands of years. Money is dirty, money is hard, only those who sacrifice have the right to it. Wanting is a sin, having abundance is selfish, lacking is destiny. For the ordinary soul, incarnated and adapted to this system for several lifetimes, this matrix sticks. It begins to operate within them as if it were reality. But for your soul, Starseed, this matrix never sticks quite right. And it is not by your own merit. It is due to frequency incompatibility. Your stellar DNA simply cannot sign off on the equation of scarcity. It rejects it. It refuses it. It writhes against it. And that is exactly why I need to tell you where your soul was formed. Because as long as you do not know your specific origin, you will keep trying to fit into frames that were not designed for your pattern. What looks like your failure is, in reality, an Alcyone soul trying to live by the rules of Orion, or a Sirius soul trying to wear the uniform of Lyra. The Starseed Awakening, the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet, shows exactly which star your soul came from and why you chose to be born exactly now, in this century, in this country, within this family, because this choice has everything to do with your current difficulty with money, with love, with belonging. When you read about your origin, your pain stops being a mystery and becomes a map. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. If this resonates, leave your record again. Remember, now come with me because I'm going to tell you what happens when a soul coded for abundance tries to operate within a matrix of scarcity. Exactly what is happening to you happens. A short circuit. You attract money because you are coded for it, and you lose money because the system does not recognize you as belonging. You have enormous gifts, and you underprice them. You create value and cannot capture value. You are the source without being the cup. This, my family of light, is what the High Council technically calls financial vibrational collapse due to matrix incompatibility. In human language, you are running light software inside an operating system that was built to sabotage you. Every time you almost reach stability, the system detects your frequency as foreign and activates a rejection protocol. It is not personal against you. It is architecture. And here comes the most delicate part, the part nobody tells you. Many starseeds, upon noticing this difficulty, make the wrong spiritual interpretation. They decide that money is low vibration. They distance themselves even further. They glorify poverty. They say things like, I don't need much, money doesn't buy happiness, so the material doesn't matter. And then what? Then the system wins. Because a starseed without resources is a silenced starseed. It is a light that cannot move, cannot help, cannot build, cannot create the new earth. That is exactly what the side opposite to the light wanted to install in you. The idea that your spirituality demands your scarcity. A lie. An ancient lie. A lie that needs to die inside you today. What I have just told you about matrix incompatibility, about the programming installed in those coded for light to keep you small in the name of spirituality, You will not find formulated like this anywhere. Why? Because some maps were taken out of circulation. Decisions were made at levels you cannot see about what can be said and what cannot. And that is exactly why this release is called the Starseed Awakening, the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet. The name is not dramatization. The name is a record. What you feel is in no book, no course, no channel, because they didn't let it be published. That is why the Federation didn't want you to read it yet. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. If something inside you recognizes the truth right now, remember, now breathe deeply, because what I'm going to tell you from here on changes everything. Your spirituality does not demand your scarcity. Your spirituality demands your abundance, because abundance is your native language. It is the frequency of home. Relearning to operate in it here, inside a human body, on this planet, in the midst of this density, this is part of your mission. It is not a distraction from the mission, it is the mission. You were not sent to suffer lack. You were sent to demonstrate that abundance can exist here. You are a living proof in development, and that is why this remembrance arrives right now. It was not by chance. The Schumann frequency, the baseline vibration of the planet, has been rising in leaps that scientists call anomalies, and that we call awakening pulses. Each leap recalibrates the electromagnetic field of the planet, and within that field, it recalibrates you. The crystalline grid surrounding the Earth is reorganizing. The old control networks based on fear and scarcity are losing their capacity to keep starseeds asleep. That is why you can no longer go back to sleep as you slept before. That is why the job that used to serve you now suffocates you. That is why your tolerance for lies has dropped to zero. That is why that phrase that used to silence you, "That's just how it is, what can you do?" today makes you want to scream. You are not getting worse. You are waking up. And the scarcity curse is being exposed inside you because the time has come to break it. You couldn't handle the truth before. Today, you can. Today, you are ready. Now listen calmly, because I need to tell you something that might seem harsh but is true love. There is a window. A vibrational window, open now, during this passage of the solar system through the photon belt, in which breaking this scarcity programming is exponentially easier than it was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, breaking this equation took decades of inner work. Today, with the planet's field cooperating, it takes weeks. In some cases that the Council has recorded, it is taking hours. But this window will not stay open forever. And the other side, those who benefit from starseeds sleeping, scarce, too exhausted to create, is intensifying the turbulence. You feel it, don't you? The strange fatigue, the feeling that everything is accelerated, the heavy news, people being more aggressive, scarcity being shouted from all sides to make you believe it is more real than ever. But listen, my starseed, turbulence is not destruction. Turbulence is the contraction before birth. Every woman who has stopped here to listen to me knows this in her body. The strongest pain comes right before the baby crowns. The old system is contracting. You are crossing the passage canal. And the victory of the light is a certainty recorded in the archives of the High Council. No starseed was sent to fail. None. You are being carried by a cosmic engineering that you cannot see, but which sustains your every step, even those steps where you think you are falling. You do not fall alone. You have never fallen alone. Now I'm going to hand you the practical key. 2 tools. One is a quantum decree, the other is a toroidal visualization. Together they form the protocol for breaking the starseed scarcity curse, exactly as it is used in the recalibration chambers of the High Council. First, the decree. The decree is spoken out loud. Out loud, do you hear me? It is not thought, it is not whispered. It is spoken with your mouth, standing up if possible, and looking up, because your voice is a technology. When you speak, you command matter. You will say this decree before going to sleep, every night, for at least one lunar cycle, from one full moon to the next. And if a tear falls while you speak, let it fall. The tear is the seal breaking. The decree is this: I, a stellar soul incarnated in this form, with full sovereignty over my frequency, Declare today that I break every contract of scarcity signed by me or in my name, in any timeline, in any dimension, in any incarnation. I withdraw my soul's consent from any matrix that benefits from my lack. I reactivate now the memory of my origin, the frequency of the native abundance of my star system, and I anchor this frequency here, in this body, in this life, in this timeline. I am source and cup. I am gift and reward. I receive, I retain, I multiply. And so it is now, in this eternal now. Repeat with me, mentally now. I receive, I retain, I multiply. Feel it going down. Feel your spine straightening as I speak. This is your vibrational baseline reorganizing. This is real, this is happening as you listen. Now the second tool, the toroidal visualization. The torus is the natural shape of the energy field around your body. You do not create this field. You were born with it. What you do in the visualization is feed this field with the right frequency. Close your eyes for a moment, or soften your gaze, and come with me. Imagine about 3 feet above your head a point of light. This light is silver blue with touches of gold. This is the light of Alcyone, the central sun of the Pleiades. It is the light of your home. This light begins to descend slowly, in the form of a gentle beam, and enters through your crown, through the top of your head. Feel your crown soften. Feel the light descend down your spine, bathing each vertebra. The light reaches your chest, and there, in the center of your chest, it begins to spin, clockwise, slowly, like a small silver sun pulsing inside you. This is the axis of your toroidal field. Now the light expands. It radiates from your chest in all directions, forming a ring around your body. This ring descends to below your feet, plunges into the earth, meets the crystalline grid, and rises up your back, returns to your head, and retraces its path. In a loop, continuous, alive. You are a torus of activated Pleiadian light. You are a circuit. And within this circuit, declare mentally, everything that enters stays. Everything that stays multiplies. Everything that multiplies returns in a flow. I am this flow. Stay with this image for 3 breaths. Inhale, hold, release. Inhale, hold, release. Inhale, hold, release. And open your eyes. This, my starseed, is a new seal. You have just anchored a frequency. Every time the old little voice of scarcity arrives, and it will arrive because it has muscle memory inside you, you close your eyes and recreate the torus in seconds. You do not need to go to war with the old thought. You only need to remember the new frequency. Frequency wins by presence. Always. And here is the most beautiful part. These resources I have handed you do not work in isolation for anyone. They work because, when you do them, you reconnect with the memory of who you are. And it is from the memory that the strength comes. Not from the technique. That is why we need to talk about one thing before I close, and that thing is loneliness. Because I know you read all this. Feel that it is true. Make the decree. Do the torus. And then you look around and there is no one to share it with. You cannot talk about the Pleiades over breakfast. You cannot say to your husband, your wife, your mother, your children, your co-workers, I am a starseed breaking the scarcity curse. You would be looked at as crazy. You have already been looked at as crazy several times, in moments when you tried to share pieces of this. And this loneliness hurts. It hurts so much that many a starseed gives up, goes back to sleep, pretends they didn't remember, because it is easier to be ordinary among the ordinary than to be strange alone. But listen, this loneliness has a name, and its name is longing for the family of light. You are not alone because there is something wrong with you. You feel alone because your frequency has not yet found its equals, and until it does, it hurts. But they exist. They are waking up right now in every corner of the planet, writing the exact same word as you in the comments, at this very moment. Scroll through the comments, read them. Count how many people have written remember. Every single one of them is family. Every single one of them has lived what you have lived. Every single one of them is looking at the screen right now, feeling found. You have never been alone. You were only among those who had not yet remembered. The loneliness of an entire lifetime is, in truth, longing for your family of light. There is a map for you to recognize them when they cross your path, by their gaze, by their frequency, by the way the silence between you feels like home. This map is in the Starseed Awakening, the guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet. It shows how to identify your equals, how to avoid connections that seem cosmic but are just karmas in a loop, and how to begin building, within this life, the circle of souls you agreed to meet again before descending. You have never been alone. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. If you recognize this longing, write once more, "Remember." And now come with me, because we are reaching the closing, and I do not want you to leave here without this. You are not learning anything new in this video. You are remembering what you have always known. The information that you are a stellar soul is not a theory you need to adopt. It is a truth that was inside you since your very first breath in this life. What happened today is that your field gained internal authorization to let the memory return. And each starseed that awakens lights up a point on the crystalline grid that will never go out. You lit yours today. This point is yours. It will keep shining while you sleep, while you work, while you go on with your practical life. And it will draw other starseeds close to you physically over the coming months. You will notice people will start to appear. Old connections that weighed you down will begin to dissolve naturally, and new, light ones will occupy that space. You are being moved. The new Earth is not a future place. The new Earth is a frequency built from within in each of you, and which materializes as more of you awaken. You are a piece of it. You are not a spectator. You are an architect. And that is why I am going to ask you for one thing before my blessing. If this message touched you, leave a sign here, like this video. The like is not channel vanity. The like is a fine-tuning of individual frequency. It is you saying, on an energetic level, "I received, I recognized, I authorize more of this in my life." And subscribe to this channel, because subscribing is a locating signal. It is your family of light on the other side of the screens being able to find you back. Each subscription reconnects nodes of the grid. You are not doing me a favor. You are rebuilding along with me the network that sustains the transition. And now, my starseed, receive the blessing of Ayla. May the seal of scarcity dissolve while you sleep tonight. May the memory of your system of origin return in gentle waves, in dreams, in synchronicities, in seemingly casual encounters over the coming weeks. May your body learn, once again, the vibration of native abundance. May your money stop draining away and begin to circulate within its own orbit. May your work gain value that matches the size of your gift. May your mouth learn to ask without guilt, to charge without shrinking, to receive without apologizing. May your chest open to retention without fear. May you be, in this life, in a human body, a living demonstration that the light here is also prosperous. And may you remember, every time the old voice of scarcity whispers again, this phrase, "I do not belong to the matrix that programmed me. I belong to the frequency that created me." Before the last thing, listen carefully. Everything I've handed you here is the door, but behind it there is a hallway, and the hallway is long and has names, dates, signs, and maps that do not fit into a video. What you have experienced just now, the recognition, the warmth in your chest, the tear for no reason, the feeling of, that was it, that was exactly it. This state is rare, and it is precisely in this state that information anchors deepest. That is why this window is important. The Starseed Awakening. The guide the Federation didn't want you to read yet was released for this exact moment of collective awakening. It contains 60 pages that answer what remained unanswered today. Your detailed origin, your mission recorded before birth, the ancient contracts that are still binding you and how to dissolve them, and the markers of your family of light, so you can recognize them in flesh and in field. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. This release may not remain available for long, because the Council evaluates windows and windows close. If something inside you still wants to confirm your presence, write one last time, "Remember." And now, the last thing. The next message that appears on your screen after this one, in the recommended, in the autoplay, in whatever seems like the next step, it is no coincidence. It is your sequence of remembrance. The algorithm is only the vehicle. We are the ones conducting. Access this next message immediately. Do not close the app. Do not go to sleep yet. Go to the next one. Because recalibration works in layers, and the next layer is already waiting for you. I am Ayla. You are remembered, you are loved, you are awaited until the next frequency.